Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Yo, y'all like the content I've been dropping and direction that my channel was headed in? I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with anybody else you think might benefit from them. Alright, now, today's topic is going to be called Assemble Your Tribe. Steel sharpens steel. Assemble your tribe, steel sharpens steel. And this topic is a little bit of a rant off the top. And it kind of came from a conversation that I was having with my barber earlier today. So to give you a background on him, his name is Kingsley, and he's from Ghana. And back in the day when I first moved to Cologne, Germany, I was walking the streets with my wife trying to figure out like where is a dope haircutter shop or barber shop where I can get faded up the right way. So all my black dudes who are watching this video, you know what it's like whenever you go to a new area. Like everybody seems to have this notion in their head that a haircut is a haircut and hair is hair, and it's like, no, black people, we got a whole different hair type. And yeah, I know everybody's trying to learn how to do fades these days, and basically I ain't gonna knock it, but they kind of copying our style, you know what I mean? But it's really rare for a black dude to find like the barber that really can cut us up right. So when I was here, I was noticing like, man, it's a lot of barbershops, but where can I get a cut? So I actually saw a dude in the street. He was about to use the ATM, and he had a real fresh haircut. Whole swag was dapper and everything. And I basically asked him like, "Yo, man, you know where I could get a cut?" And he basically turned around and told me, "Hey, I'm a barber myself. Like, I'll get you right." So ever since then, this is maybe 2012. I've been going to Kingsley and getting lined up and everything real nice. So I like this dude because he's a very conscious individual. He's a few years older than me, and we've always had powerful talks throughout the years about, I don't know, the economy, politics, travel, and some of the things that you can basically expect whenever you're ascending to a new level, and you have to do that cost benefit analysis on whether it's cool to kick it with certain people or not. So we were kind of having a conversation about that today, and he said something real profound which made me want to extrapolate on this video. He was basically talking about how he's kind of disappointed with black culture, specifically his perspective being from Ghana. And what he was talking about was how a lot of black people from Africa will come into Europe and they're pursuing a better life. And some of them basically rise to the challenge and accomplish great things, since there are opportunities in the Western world that don't exist back in Ghana. But then there are the other ones, which would probably be the majority, who revel in this level of mediocrity and don't ever really actualize, even though they're given a great opportunity. And what he was talking about was how over the years, he's basically become a solo traveler. He doesn't really talk to too many people. And whenever I come and get a cut, he seems like comfortable to vent to me about his observations on how things are going. And he basically told me the tale of two buildings, the tallest building. So he was talking about how he's getting into psychology. And what he's noticing is that there are two ways to have the tallest building. All right. This is, of course, theoretically speaking. One way to have a tall building is to actually build one. This involves self-improvement, doing the work, analyzing your associates in the tribe of people that you keep close to you, and then basically going through the adversity and the struggle to build the tallest building. That's a hard route to go, but it's the most rewarding. And most people, of course, will go with the other option, which is, if you also want to have the tallest building, what you can do is just see to it that any buildings around you are leveled and smashed down so that they never reach the height that you're at. So basically you have a hard work, self-improvement mentality, or you have a tear down, equalize mentality, where you need to polarize every situation to make sure that you're always above those people. Hence crab in a barrel mentality, or hence the people who, like my video emotional manipulation, that'll try to manipulate you and make you feel like you're wrong for wanting to improve, like you're overdoing it when you want to be more confident, that you're now arrogant. You see what I'm saying? These are the people who, like I said in that video, you come around the corner looking all nice and dapper, you got a nice swag about you, you carry yourself properly. This won't be the person that'll go, yo man, you look fresh, man, high five, and they actually feel like he can give you that compliment. Nah, this will be the person who will throw shade, or who will knock your shoes, or who will talk about the color of your shirt. Or these are the people who always need to minimize you in order to feel maximum of their self. So we're gonna talk about how to assemble your tribe, all right, and also the fact that steel sharpens steel in this video. As you guys have already heard me say 1,000 different times, my channel is small, all right, and I don't have no problem with it being small as long as I'm making an impact, and the people that are resonating with the message are those who have internalized a champion mentality, okay? Go for what they want, are looking for some type of self improvement or enlightenment within this matrix that we live. All right, people who are pushing themselves past their normal limits. All right, I had a conversation with my other homeboy today, and he was telling me about how he has a friend who's coming to visit him who has known him all of his life. And this friend, due to the fact that he has basically seen his development over the years, is very excited to spend time with him, and they about to go tear up the mall and do all these big things in Qatar. And I was thinking, yo, that's awesome, because that's a person who you want to have in your tribe. That's a person who the mantra "steel sharpens steel" comes to life, because he saw you maybe when you were at your low points, or maybe when you just haven't self-actualized yet. Now you've reached this new level, you feel great, and you want to celebrate those things. And this is a person who you can bring along with and go tear out the mall, ride in the nice cars, and you can actually share all of the, let's say, prosperity that you've gained in your process of, evolution. All right. Another thing is, I feel like when you have the right tribe around you, it's dope, because everybody over time will collectively improve. You get to hold each other's feet to the fire and compete with each other in a friendly, healthy way. Like, let's say I go to the gym and I got a friend of mine who he's trying to level up, I'm trying to level up. Maybe he's strong in certain exercises that I'm not so privy at. He can push me to my limit, and then one day I can reach one of the standards he had for himself, and then vice versa. We can compete in a friendly way, and this is helping both of us to improve overall in terms of fitness. Or let's say you got a friend who knows really good about investing, and then you're really good with building stuff. He needs to renovate his apartment. Cool. He comes over, helps you renovate the apartment. Dope. Then later on, he has a sum of money that he don't really know what to do with it. He's over here curious, like, yo, should I put my money into an index fund, or should I put it into a Roth IRA? Then you can come along with your knowledge and be like, yo, if I were you, I would make sure you have an emergency fund set up. Then you want to put some money away for long-term retirement, and then you also want to you see, it's a win-win situation. Also, you guys have already heard, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. All right. And even if you don't have the opportunity to be around, let's say, 5 people who are all high quality, who are pushing you to actualize, what you can do is spend more time alone. All right. And you have the internet right there accessible, where you can actually look at people that inspire you and take from their jewels of wisdom, whether it be an interview, a podcast, or, something that they uploaded, where you can now pull from their blueprint to apply it to your life. All right, so you need to use people what they're good for when it comes down to assembling a tribe. The handyman example, and then the dude who's good at investing money. This is a benefit, all right? Let's say you got 2 girls, one of them is real good at doing makeup, the other one is real good at picking out clothes. This will be dope because they can both plug together. So they're using each other, all right? And it doesn't need to be this, like so and so's trying to use me. He only hit me up because he wants this, that, and the third. Like, nah, see, when you build the right type of tribe, you feel glad that your friend wants to use you. They feel glad that you want to use them because it's one hand washes the other, both hands wash the face. You see what I'm saying? It should be win-win scenarios that you setting up when you build up your clique. All right, and here in a minute, I'm about to go into some different definitions because as we get older, there's a lot of confusion between different words that sound like they're the same, but they're actually real different. All right, so you have friends, associates, partners, and allies. Let's go ahead and define each one of them. So a friend, this is a person who has a strong liking for and trust in another person. Another definition for friend would be a person who is not an enemy or a foe. All right. Third definition is going to be a person who helps or supports wholeheartedly. So you remember back when you was growing up, I know this was the case with me. Like, there was periods and times where I had certain best friends. You know what I mean? I never limited it down to one. But what I realized is certain friends were good for certain aspects of my life. You know, I had one dude back in high school. He had a car. He was real cool to hang around with. He always knew the different spots that we could hit up. And he was also pretty good with the women. You know, so anytime he hit me up, I already knew I need to dress a certain way. I need to kind of get into a certain mode because we're probably going to go play some basketball. We're probably going to go stop at a restaurant like McDonald's like we used to do back in the day. So I'm going to need some money in my pocket. We might go to a mall. And it's not going to surprise me if some women come into the mix somehow. So I need to kind of be on my A game and not be over here trying to hate or throw sidebar comments when those females come around. You know how it is when a lot of dudes want to switch up their whole game whenever a female get there, right? So I have that friend for that. He's real cool in that way. Then I have my other friend, like let's say I'm going through some real traumatic stuff. Or if I'm real in a contemplative mood and I'm over here thinking about the nature of reality or what have you. He's a good person where we can go back and forth and spar intellectually and really like get into the meat of whatever's bothering me. We could really talk and go deep with one another intellectually. Use him for that, right? Then you got the other friend. Maybe he's like real funny and goofy and he's the one you want to invite to a party. So you have different character types and all of them are going to fulfill certain roles within your life. That's what I would call like a friend, all right? These are people that you know you can rely on, you can count on, and regardless of whatever, they probably knew you the longest too. These are the people that resonate with you on so many different levels that they're hard to replace, you know? Associate, all right? This is a person who shares actively in anything as a business, enterprise, or undertaking. So let's say I'm at the university, all right? I have an economics class. There's a dude sitting next to me, and then next thing you know, we get assigned to work on a project together. He's an associate of mine. Another word would be like colleague. He's somebody that we have the same objective in mind, and he's not an enemy. He's not a friend. He's not a foe. He's no one against me, but we're using both of our minds to collaborate on something. So he's an associate. If I see him 3 years later, that'll be somebody I wave to across the street, maybe cross, talk it up, you know, catch up on what's going on in his life, politic about what's happening in mine, and then we can go our separate ways. But he's not going to be a person who I'm really pouring my heart out to or talking deep with. It's just somebody where we could set up a win-win scenario because we both have the same mutual goal to accomplish, right? Then you have a partner. So there's a few definitions. One will be either of a pair of people engaged together in the same activity. All right. Another one will be either member of a married couple or of an established unmarried couple. Okay. So oftentimes you're going to hear, oh, my partner, oh, my spouse, partner goes kind of in that direction because this is somebody that's kind of tied to you for some type of mutual purpose. Let's say I have a business partner, okay? We start up an LLC. He's the dude who crunches all the numbers. Maybe I'm the one who does all the other stuff with the operations. He and I have a mutual goal, but we're partners in some type of endeavor where we're both going to accomplish it. This is a little bit deeper than just being an associate, somebody you just pass at school. All right. Even in the project example that I just named, that's not really he's not my project partner. He's just an associate, somebody that I basically have a loose connection with. A partner is a little bit more serious and more grounded than that. Then, of course, you have ally, all right? And this is basically someone who helps and supports someone else. They also may have a common enemy, all right? So think about like all the world wars. Every single time there's been some type of world conflict, you usually have allied countries which will join together because they will basically display a fortified front because they want to protect their own mutual interests. All right, it makes total sense that they band together to protect from an outside force invading on whatever they want to maintain. So an ally could easily be just somebody who has the same common enemy as me, and we can join forces temporarily. All right, but we're not like best friends or nothing like that. So the reason why I wanted to talk about those definitions is because I see in life friends are naturally supposed to grow apart in some cases, all right? And this is no slight at any of the people who are my friends, you know what I mean? We might not talk as often, but it's like there's no love lost. I still hope that all my friends from, let's say, back in Dayton, Ohio, are doing well in their lives and flourishing and able to take care of their families and stuff like that. You know, there's no animosity. They don't fall below the level of an enemy or anything like that, or I look at them with disdain or, you know, wish anything bad upon them. No, I just look at it seriously like ships. All right. You guys have probably been in a nice place. Like the last place I was where I saw this setup was Dubai, where there were a bunch of yachts basically docked next to each other. I also saw this in Kuwait when I would go to certain parts. I would see a bunch of nice ships and yachts basically on the same port, just posted up. The way I look at friendships is when we were kids, we all kind of started in the same port. But as life progressed and all of us grew into adults and started to actualize ourselves and we got different obligations, responsibilities, a family, what have you, all of us started coasting on the ocean, heading in different directions, going to different destinations. So at any point in time, somebody who was right next to me could be, you know, thousands of miles apart on this vast ocean, and I consider the ocean like life. Life is taking you certain ways. If you don't have any objectives in your life, you're just like a ship that's just floating on the ocean. That's why I made that one video called Rudderless Ships. So you're definitely going to be far away from a dude like me who is headed for a certain objective. I know where I'm trying to go, and I'm doing everything to go that way. But what about you if you're just floating? You're going further and further away from where I could ever consider seeing you. Like, so that's how I look at friendships. Distance just grows in between y'all as y'all are trying to actualize and do your own things in life. And that's totally okay. There's no problem with that. You know what I mean? But if you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, the way I look at it, take it back to the ship example, there's going to be some times where I'm, let's say, headed towards Cuba, so to speak. I'm headed towards Cuba. And then I'm going to notice as we get closer and closer to Cuba that other ships are also headed there, also about to dock up and go on their specific missions. Those are going to be people who I could easily talk to because we're clearly in the same objective. We clearly met the same area. Now we can talk, discuss, see what we have in common, and these people can now become friends. Maybe one day some type of associate, maybe someday some type of business partner, or even in passing, he could just be an ally. You know, so that's what I wanted to cover on this video. You know what I mean? So I wanted to salute to my boy Kingsley for not only getting me right with the cut, but also for inspiring this topic. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler at y'all in the next one.